Hello. My name's James. A lot of people say I'm quite weird, but I say to those people, yes, my name's James. The main reason I'm doing stand-up comedies is so I can find myself a sex partner. But I might have some fun along the way. I'm very good at being fun. A lot of people say I'm the best at being fun, that I am the life and soul of the parties. Very good at being fun. I like balloons. I also like party poppers. I like to go bowling. Sometimes people say that I'm too fun. And that I've moved on to a level of fun that's making people feel uncomfortable. And often I'm asked to leave. What else about me? Well, I like to do poems. I'm going to do your poem now. This poem is called Quilted Toilet Paper. My dad invented quilted toilet paper. One day he was wiping his arse on a quilt. And he thought, I'm getting through a lot of quilts. I went straight from using my hand to using a quilt. I can't help but think I've missed out some kind of intermediate stage. I'll try some foil. The foil is no good. I'll try a J-cloth. Too porous. I'll try a flannel. Too far in the quilt direction. I'll try some kitchen roll. I'm getting close. He stitched some quilt to some kitchen roll and sent it to the lab for analysis. Oh, did I mention he has a lab? The lab combined the two to make quilted toilet paper, and that's the end of the story. I mean poem. Yeah, so I live with my gran. It's not that my parents don't love me, more they just don't really like me. We have lots of fun, though, me and my gran, lots of fun. Like, we like to play lots of games. Like, I like to play that game with her. It's a bit like Where's Wally, where I take her around all of the charity shops and see if she can spot her dead husband's suit. Yeah, unfortunately, my granddad's passed away. Although we didn't always see eye to eye, I used to say to him, "You're not my dad." And he'd say, "I know I'm not your dad, but I tell you what, me and your dad have got one thing in common." And I'd say, "What's that?" And he'd say, "We both really, really enjoy a good game of dominoes." And I'd say, "I've never seen you playing dominoes." And he'd say, "I like to play it on my own to unwind." And I'd say, "You can't play dominoes on your own." And he'd say, "Well, actually, I've invented a new version of the game that allows me to play completely solo." And I'd say, "Oh, right, that actually sounds quite interesting." And he would say, "I'll show you how to play sometime." And I'd say, "That would be great." And then he would fuck me. But it wasn't all fun and games. One night I overheard him telling my gran that living with me was like being trapped inside a teardrop. Next day he got up, instead of going to the newsagents, just walked into the sea. Yeah, so that was him. Right, time for another poem. This poem's called Poundland. Wow, this place is incredible. I can't believe everything in here only costs £1. Look at all those After Eight mints you get for £1. I like After Eight mints. Sensual lubricating jelly. Who's buying that in Poundland? What a diverse range of stock. That's loads of Haribos for £1. That would be at least £1.60 in Tesco. I hope Poundland don't charge for their carrier bags, because they would cost £1 each. What's that writing on the Pantene Pro V? Is that Arabic? Who cares? It only costs £1. I wonder if when Steve Pound goes to Poundland, he feels like a king. Who am I kidding? We all feel like kings in Poundland. Thank you. Yeah, so it's nice to get out of the house. My gran doesn't really like me going out of the house. She said she doesn't want me out there in the road injecting needle drugs. So she buys me lots of sweets to try and keep me in. But she keeps on buying me flipping blackjacks. I don't like 'em, Gran, I scream at her while she's asleep. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. As I said at the start, the main reason I'm doing stand-up comedies is so I can find myself a sex partner. Doing stand-up comedies is a great way to get noticed by women. Look at you, you fool. No one's noticing you. But I haven't always been that good with women. Someone once said to me that I was so bad with women that I wouldn't even be able to have sex with a prostitute. Well, I proved them wrong. But I wasn't that good with women when I was younger, mainly because I was a child. But even the girls my own age weren't that interested. Some of them liked me, yes. Others didn't. They used to say I was a bit like Marmite, because I stank. But I'd like to point out, ladies, that my personal hygiene these days is nothing short of exquisite. I stank when I was in school, but I sorted myself out, and I did that in 2 ways. Firstly, I sprayed myself with so much Lynx Africa that between the ages of 13 and 15 I was technically a gas. And secondly, I upped my mint imperial intake from 12 imperials a week to 17 imperials a week. Yes, that's right, a 42% increase. So don't worry, ladies. I am guaranteed to provide you with 100% of your recommended daily allowance of sexiness. And also fibre, as I like to carry around a small bag of bran flakes at all times. You just never know when you might fancy a treat. Okay, I suppose I better speak to a lady then. You'll do. Has anyone ever told you have a perfectly satisfactory face? Well, they should have done, because it's factually accurate. Right, time to try a chat-up line on you. Hi. They say that women should drink out of bottles to make it more difficult for their drink to get spiked, which is why I carry round a funnel. What's your name? Lucy, would you like to come back to my gran's house and listen to all my Supergrass albums? We don't have to have sex or anything. Maybe I could just grope you a bit. What do you think? No. Well, what about you? You seem to be the very least able-bodied. Bran flake? Would you like to come round to my gran's house? No. You? No. Well, that's led to a painfully unsatisfactory conclusion to my set. Thank you very much. Good night.